Morning, internet, or evening, wherever you're.
This isn't happening on a battlefield. This is happening in a civilian space, which moves it into the realms of terrorism. Whether the missiles have been fired from Hezbollah into Israel, or whether the explosions unfolding in Lebanon as a consequence of Israeli intervention, the targeting of civilian populations, even if there is an enemy combatant in the middle of that civilian population, you can't have one rule for one side and another rule for the other, can you? I mean, you can, but you shouldn't.
How do you attack Hezbollah terrorists who are embedded in a civilian population without endangering civilians?
So why has Benjamin Netanyahu
That's right. Not in Norway now.
Israeli military, it's just most people are a little bit reluctant. Most people who would justify thank you.
Keep right. There. Turn right.
Top Sport Week, Monday to Friday from 4 p.m. Look at the problem we've got. Look at the issue
Turn
with their
right.
nose, and here we have another knife crime incident. An 11-year-old girl, and they've been stabbed. Listen on your radio and global player, LBC.
Most homes would save with Octopus. Matt switched and started saving in April last year.
You just get in line with customer service.
Continue straight.
Communication. You stepped it up, I think.
With award-winning customer
Keep
service.
right.
Visit
There. Turn right.
Octopus.com/value for our calculation.
Curtains drawn outdoors.
Turn right.
Wait, the soul is your potential. You don't let it snooze or sit around. You act on it. Run with it.
You have arrived.
Past the safety of routine and familiarity to somewhere new. Because anything is possible if you choose to make it happen.
Whether you're growing your business, switching careers, or just starting out, make the most of your potential. It all starts with skills. Search Skills for Life.
Hello. I'm on holiday this week, scuba diving in the Caribbean. I'm going to be underwater most of the time, so if I don't have to learn whale. Lucy.
Take your holiday as seriously as those holidays take your holiday.
Buy a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 or S24 series from participating retail, and you can claim a Chromebook bonus of £299. Keep the content rolling with more screens for everyone. Purchase by the 3rd of October. Claim from Samsung within 30 days of purchase. T's and C's apply.
Cars to buy entirely online. It's no wonder everyone's cinching.
I cinched it. Think I'm gonna be sick.
I cinched it in this coffee shop.
What you having?
A 5-door hatchback.
This is your captain speaking. I cinched it 4 tables with a 14-day money-back guarantee.
With so many great reasons to buy, the nation aren't just nailing it, they're cinching it. Comparison against equivalent retailers. Visit cinch.co.uk/range. Mileage restrictions and terms apply.
Most homes would save with Octopus Energy. Outstanding value with award-winning customer
Navigation
service.
resumed.
Visit Octopus.com/value for our calculation.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with James O'Brien.
10:48 is the time. I hope my times today to this that we will turn our attention. There's nearly 4 million on sickness benefits.
Turn left.
Out of sight, out of mind attitude. Continuing impact of COVID as a consequence of the length
Continue
of waiting
straight.
lists may have been more ill-prepared, less resilient than populations of other review of the latest television drama to address her seminal, epochal interview with Queen. There have been other...
Turn left.
Scooter Paul, whilst attempted, she was...
Turn
she
left.
didn't like the fact that she didn't have control of her own master tip, so she re-recorded and called it...
Roundabout, take the first exit.
Who I believe was either the ambassador to the UN for Israel or the American.
Take the exit.
And he was on the
Take the exit.
It's the same thing, really, isn't it? I think without the sort of jaws of justice.
Sure, I know that's definitely the case. I think what is so difficult to accept is if you look at the last election in Israel, he got a massive proportion of the vote, so it was 50%. So there are still many, many Israelis who will be on his side and agree with what he's doing. There's a lot of us
In 50 feet, turn left.
The possibility of security being that he genuinely believes
Turn left.
suggests that his blow
this week. Israel hasn't claimed responsibility, but says it's in a new phase of war. White House National Security spokesman John Kirby says any escalation must be.
We don't believe that the way to solve where we're at in this crisis
At the
is by
roundabout, take the
additional
first exit.
military operations. And we still believe that the best way to prevent escalation,
Take the
prevent
exit.
another front from opening up in Lebanon, is to diplomacy.
Vulnerable children. Shortage of security.
Turn left.
Has been speaking to some.
Tanya, whose name and voice we've changed, says her
Turn left.
autistic son became suicidal after being sent 150 miles away from home.
I just saw this broken little boy who wanted to end his life.
Excited to what's known as a to being groomed.
Turn
to
right.
rehabilitate him, but he never got education or counselling. And he's not alone. More than 1,200 children
Turn right.
deprived of their liberty in 1 year. Half of them were sent to unregulated homes like his son.
Multiple allegations of rape against his father. Fired. More than 20 ex-employees say the billionaire, who died last year, sexually assaulted them. Nigel Farage has backed Donald Trump's claims of opposition against leader has told LBC it sounds crazy.
But you do think some cats and dogs are being eaten in Springfield?
I think Trump generally, when he says these things,
City officials in Springfield, Ohio, say there have been no credible reports of any pet eating. In the city, the FTSE 100 a short time ago was trading at 83.46.
At the
That's up
roundabout, take the
33.
second exit.
Pound rise $1.32 and euro 18. LBC weather mostly
Take the
dry
exit.
and plenty of sunshine. From planes.
Searching HMRC scams on gov.uk. Protect, recognise, report.
This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with James O'Brien.
It is 3 minutes after 11. You're listening to James O'Moron on LBC, where last time I checked, Donald Trump had made, this was in 2021, 30,573 false or misleading claims over just 4 years. But yeah, that's right. Whenever he says something that sounds crackers, it usually turns out to be true. Okay, I don't want to sound bossy, but
Take the exit.
the conversation I'm going to take public discourse. It's about service and about it's not about, although we want to it's an experience of COVID itself. It is this is the first report I've seen in a long time that says nearly 4 million on sickness benefits as COVID still takes toll. So 2.8 million people are out of work because of long-term sickness. This could see benefits being pushed up to 63 billion.
At the roundabout, take the third
It's the
exit.
same way that Haitians in Scotland are not eating cats or dogs. So it is not easy to get this on
Take the exit.
or as you might know something. it's clear that second guess what the front page of tomorrow's Daily Mail and Daily Telegraph would conclude. So the first would be the mental health surgery, and the second would be, I think, the long tail of COVID of people. We spoke to a teacher not long ago whose life has been ruined, absolutely ruined, and who believes that she will never recover. I know people who have undergone a lot of treatment, almost all of it paid for privately, and some very successfully have come out of an 18-month-long hellscape, really, of exhaustion, of absolute fatigue, of physical and mental consequences, brain fog, people who know now that they're still not right and are pretty confident, albeit they might not always have a diagnosis, which is part of the problem we're discussing. They're pretty confident that their health problems are attributable to their experience of COVID-19. I say during the pandemic, it's not over. It's bubbling away constantly in the background. So that's why the vaccine is such a godsend, such an important part of public health provision. Why the UK? Why does the UK a bigger problem in this field than any other comparable country? So the three variables here, the three factors are, I'm told that I've misused the word exponential more than ever to accept. It's not exponential, you're right. It's a large increase in long-term sick. right? It is mental health, particularly among young people, and the long-term repercussions of COVID among older people, I would suggest, because the length of waiting lists is cited as a reason for it. That's one answer to the third question, or rather one factor of the third variable, which is this: the UK is much worse than anywhere else. So why? And you can come at this from any angle that you want. You can, 30 minutes after 11 is the time, come at it from a place of international comparison. 0345 6060973. You can come at it from your own personal experience. The failure to look after you properly, the failure to address the condition that you have because of the confusion and even sometimes it seems the obfuscation surrounding the very phrase long COVID. And you could come at it from the angle of why specific to this country. What are they doing in other countries that we are not doing here? So that's the conversation, all right? 0345 6060973 is the number that you need. I want to know why you think, drawing either upon an overview, upon thinking, and the more countries you can compare to, perhaps the more pertinent your contribution will be, or upon personal experience, why the UK has seen a significant rise in long-term sickness levels compared to the pre-pandemic equivalent, and other countries have not. That's the crux of the question that I'm asking, all right? 0345 6060973. There's one elephant in the room, isn't there? And that would be, it is arguably, well, inarguably, the shiniest jewel in the crown of our post-war settlement, with the possible exception of the welfare state. But could it be that the NHS was so battered and so beleaguered by the time that the pandemic came along that it actually handled the long-term ramifications of that virus worse than other countries that haven't got an NHS? That's just an elephant in the room. It's a possibility. It might be an imaginary elephant, but it's important to acknowledge its potential existence. Hit the numbers now. You will get through. It's 11:15.
LBC.
Meet the new Citroen e-Berlingo van, the electric
Navigation
version of the
resumed.
UK's best-selling small van. It's got a fresh design, optimised comfort, smart tech, and it's made in Britain. To help make the switch to electric, Citroen are giving away a free EV charger across the whole Citroen electric van range. Interested? Visit your local Citroen retailer or search Citroen vans. Standard residential installation by Octopus to give down his birth. Because what to give his catchphrases don't get anything into cycling. So maybe some fashionable cycling slips? Or maybe a scratch card from the National Lottery. Something to show you haven't forgotten, but avoids the danger of any more like Croney's wardrobe. The National Lottery Best Gift always gift responsible. And remember, you need to
Robot head with an Amazon box.
At Amazon, we're actually paper bags for our deliveries.
And now I'm making a paper air balloon. And I even made a little brown basket. And I'm making a dog that looks just like Monty.
Just one of the ways we've reduced the weight of our packaging by more than 40% since 2015, which is still good for playtime.
Mom, where's the scissors?
To learn more, visit aboutamazon.co.uk/sustainability.
Listeners, we interrupt the airwaves to share an incredible discovery. The reason why Britain hasn't been so great of late is because the country hasn't been eating enough Weetabix. We must get to work in rebuilding Great Britain, bix by bix, by delivering Weetabix to whoever's in charge of fixing potholes, to VAR, and people who somehow managed to park over 2 bays. To Britain, we must say, have
Navigation
you had your
resumed.
Weetabix?
LBC. Call 0345
It is Saturday night, and you are listening to James O'Brien on LBC. I just want to take a moment to comment on how much I love the band. What an amazing band of with the fact that I've just been sent a photograph of Joe, Jonathan fan, reading Herald Great Britain by James O'Brien. But if you haven't checked out Blossoms, check them out immediately. It's a shame I can't play music more on the programme. I played a bit of pulp yesterday. I don't know if you were here for that. That Kenny Badenoch story took off, didn't it? No one had noticed it when we started talking about it yesterday. And everyone missed the best bit. Everyone has still missed the best bit. We've still got the clips ready from yesterday. Because the best bit of it was the claim in the same interview that she claimed working in McDonald's when she was 16 automatically made her and immediately made her working class. My favourite bit was the chaser, not the shock. The chaser was that I never need to apologise because I think so carefully about everything I say that I never commit any gaffes. Extraordinary. But we're not talking about it. We got them both. Should we have it right before 12 o'clock, before mystery hour? We'll remind ourselves of that because this is a serious conversation. Why is the situation when it comes to long-term sickness, comparisons between post-pandemic and pre-pandemic, why is it so much worse in this country than in others? Anne is in Penrith. Anne, what would you like to say?
Oh, hi. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to get answers this way.
No, I know. You must have said something amazing because I think you just got pushed to the front of the queue.
It's surprising. Yeah, I don't think that it is much worse in this country.
Turn left.
Than it is in other countries.
GPS
So
signal lost.
in other countries,
Navigation resumed.
I don't want to jump on the media, but
In 50 feet, turn right.
I haven't seen anything like this in other countries.
Turn right.
Millions of people around the world who've gotten on COVID. So in terms of their, they are now implementing policy, nationwide policy. The CDC over there has started to
Oops.
He's called for a moonshot, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Talked about a $1 billion injection.
In 50 feet, turn left. Turn left.
Respond to the condition? Do you encounter scepticism? Do you see what I mean? The very phrase long COVID.
I know people do. Other people have encountered skepticism.
At the roundabout, take the fourth exit.
Over the fact that COVID was my long COVID because it hit. It was obviously caused by the COVID infection because it just destroyed.
So I was wondering where this was taking me.
Experience skepticism because
I'm going right round for some reason.
their symptoms are mild and it's just cold, and then
Take the exit.
to hit.
Turn right.
People might say, oh well, maybe it wasn't that, maybe it was something else, but that's not.
When did you know?
Imagine overtaking at a corner. Jesus. Assistant rat.
Probably going to get better. We don't know very much about it, and that just doesn't wash anymore because we do know a lot about it, and there are lots of people who are experts in
In
this
50
area.
feet,
They're
turn
not
left.
on the platform, and they are not. So continuously, when you see in the media about long COVID, they platform the same people repeatedly. And there's a reason that
Turn
so many
left.
people are being asked questions about long COVID because they will give the message that the government wants to put out. Don't worry about it.
In 50 feet, turn left.
I think the government wants to put that message out, particularly when we're surveying
Turn left.
a situation where 4 million people are on long-term sick. I mean, it's economic sense.
So.
There was an article written recently in the Byline Times.
Look at that comment, sweetheart, on YouTube. So, I have reason to believe you are smuggling Somali pirates. Or refugees, sorry. Maybe not. Usually only do that on Sundays. What is it we've got?
It's fine to catch COVID.
Loaders.
Children catch COVID. We know that it impacts children now as well. So if we acknowledge that actually what we told you to do was really
Yeah. Hold on, guys. There's I need to save this. And what else I'm going to do is I need to go back to my mods. There's one that's making the game a little jerky for me, so I think I know what one it is. I'm going to take it off. Just bear with me. Take that off. Take that off. Confirm changes. Yeah. Oh, is that a bit better? Well, to load back up once you've took a couple of mods off for some reason. Yeah, if you have or if you get Euro Truck Simulator. Google ProMods and install that as well. You can thank me later.
Navigation resumed. GPS lost. Navigation resumed. Turn right. Keep left. There. Turn left. Turn left. In 50 feet, turn right. Turn right. You have arrived. Navigation resumed. Navigation resumed. Turn right. Right.
I think the whole thing with this is that because it wasn't taken so seriously, those kids shut down school. I think initially it was kind of like you thinking, oh, like kids don't get it, it's fine. If you
They do. I mean, I know that Westminster and Chelsea Hospital had a non-COVID clinic for children 3 years ago, but it doesn't seem to have bitten, does it? It doesn't seem to have long-term.
And I think also because you
adjective do you like him? Because I would say evocative. I would say profoundly impulsive. What adjective do you like?
Let you go on. Oh, you're picking synonyms for the next 10 minutes. It's lovely.
Interview with Andrew Winter. The artist from Letters Printer. Where do we begin? Do we begin with the moment at which you knew, not necessarily this would be an interview for Newsnight that would end up making headlines around the world and spawning several dramatisations, but the moment at which you knew something truly
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
was happening?
Well, I would say we stop with the drama.
Take the
Actually,
exit.
because the drama is an incredible. It's sensitive, it's quite respectful, and I know you're a fan of Michael Sheen, and I'd say he is just jaw-dropping in this, and he does something with the character that I wasn't expecting, which is sort of complete him, and he takes it away from anything that looks like comedy villain, anything that looks like a sort of slam dunk idiocy. He's not. He's a sort of
Take the exit.
father figure, an approachable dad,
Keep left.
a sort of loyal ex-husband who doesn't sound too strong, and a devoted son, and a former hero. You know, he sort of returns from which is to show the sort of the fall from grace. And actually, what we did was we put the interview in the middle of the three parts. And for my money, the third hour is actually the best because you just see this sort of this colossus.
At the roundabout,
And
take
it
the
is-
first exit.
It's quite a thing to watch, actually.
You say we, which speaks of a heavy
Take the
involvement.
exit.
I mean, it's based on
a brand new thing for me, and a slightly uncomfortable one, actually, because
At the roundabout,
so
take the second exit.
Andrew introduced a chapter in my book, Ahead, and when the rights to that were bought, they said, you know, we just want to make this as the drama. We want more thoughts and memories and all the rest of it. And actually,
Take the exit.
just literally what happens that day. With the writing in terms of building, I think, a bit more context around it. So,
You
know,
have
what was the
arrived.
environment like? What was the political environment like? I mean, one of the questions I got from Jeremy Brock, this brilliant, thoughtful writer, was, tell me about 2019. And I did. And I started in January. And you remember the frenzy of that period of history for us. You know, the Brexit votes and the tensions and the sort of Steve Bray in sort of College Green, the noise of just the sort of the main and the sort of the clash of just so much noise around politics at that time. That's how I remember it. It's been a really noisy time. And we were so involved in that. We weren't really elsewhere. And I sort of think of the Andrew interview as popping into the middle of this sort of political chaos. And everyone kind of drawing breath and going, you know, so that was part of my involvement.
So it needs the context to make sense of the moment.
A little bit. I think it does a bit because it wasn't something that we had been chasing,
No.
you know, for sort of years. It had been something that we had kept an interest in. You know, Sam McAllister started the bidding process, I think, you know, a year earlier, and we had been offered him sort of earlier that year. But there was something about that moment of November, the prorogation of Parliament in September. We had a brand new landslide majority government under Boris Johnson just a month later.
Yeah.
And so I quite liked having this sense of the context in which it fit. And part of my job, I think, as EP, was just to bring some of the memories and to bring the newsroom in. And normally, I'm sure you've shared this, the sense of cringe when a newsroom is badly done on TV. You just go, no, we don't speak like that. It's always sort of faster and a bit more brutal in real life. And I think I wanted to inject some of that speed and adrenaline and sort of, you know, edge of carefreeness into it as well.
And John Arnold as well. well, which I sense wouldn't be the most comfortable thing.
I think at one point my son suggested that he could withhold the rights to his portrayal, which sounds like a very normal thing for sort of kids to do. And so I had to sort of work out how I'd get around that. And actually what we did was we made the kids much younger in this. So it wasn't quite as embarrassing
So they're not gonna
for
get
them
teased at
to... Yeah, exactly. To have to, I mean, they're gone now. My eldest is 20 and came to see. It was lovely actually. Came to see the premiere in New York, and at least said to me that he liked it. It wasn't something he was sort of found absolutely dreadful, but that was important as well. And I think that process was interesting for me because I began thinking, how can I make this as lifelike as possible? And then I suddenly thought, actually, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. I don't want that kitchen to look like my kitchen.
Sure, you don't have to, do you?
You don't have to.
The identity of your appliances is not crucial to the narrative.
Not crucial. The dog, I think, was the most lifelike, member of the family.
You talk to the dog a lot.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
I mean, we have quite a passag, relationship, but we talk a lot.
And I guess I mention Brexit on every programme, as you know, but it's important to understand where you are. Everyone who listens to the newsagents will know that you've been enormously liberated by your arrival at Global, and that you left the BBC with some ill feeling or unhappiness, I think we would say.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, but you talk about how other male presenters possibly would have been applauded for some of the things that you were criticised for, that you were condemned for, and as a consequence of that, there is a deep desire to make this interview work.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, that wasn't my line.
Okay.
So that was a line that
it is now, mate. That's the print the legend. You can't disown it. It's out there now.
You're right, and actually, that's what that's part of the interest.
That's very new for you.
It is new for me, and I think one of the other things that's happened is I'm now reading newspaper articles that elide fact with drama.
Yes.
And that's so confusing for me. I read a piece, last week, and I couldn't work out whether it was a plot summary or a review or a news story about sort of Andrew moving out of his royal residence. And I just sat back and thought, this is the stuff that we talk about the whole time, with Baby Reindeer and The Crown, all the rest of it, where your world is slightly eliding, and it is a strange place to be for a news journalist.
Does it mean that you lose ownership?
Navigation resumed.
Yeah.
Because this is, to use, I know you're a fellow journalist, this is very much...
It is a team project, actually, which I think that is critical, because one thing that the writer did, Jeremy did, was go to a lot of the original news writing. And so it isn't, thankfully, just my recollection. It's everyone's memory. And one of the most exciting processes has been finding out things from them that I remember differently.
Yes.
So we've all remembered things differently, and some of the lines that appear in the drama, I think, never said that. And then I chatted to Esme and to Stuart, and they were like, no, he did. That absolutely came up. And so it's been incredible to make this almost like a composite, script of all the voices coming together, which has sort of taken the pressure off a bit as well.
Yes.
I don't feel like it's not just me sort of saying, not standing on Mount Sinai.
That's it,
with
isn't
my
it?
tablet.
It's a much bigger story than two people sitting down to have a conversation. I mean, it's got all the sort of trappings of epic drama. And as you say, the third episode after the denouement, almost the third episode is
the fallout.
The fallout, the most fertile. I mean, and game changing. So I'll end with the question that you completely ignored at the beginning, which is when in the room where it happens, did you feel your antennae start twitching in ways that they had never twitched before?
As soon as he started speaking.
Seriously?
Yeah. As soon as he started speaking, because there was a moment where I thought he would try and turn the whole interview into a promo for Pitch at the Palace.
Right.
And I thought, I could be in. Do you remember at the beginning of Frost Nixon, when the first
Navigation
hour that Frost
resumed.
has with Nixon, he just talks it out. He filibusters. Just talks it out. We've included a little bit of that in the drama. I thought, for a moment, if he does that...
GPS signal lost. GPS signal lost. Navigation resumed.
Accepted
Turn
and
right.
that's something the drama says, that it's not just the ramifications on Andrew, it's everyone around him. You know, it's the loyalties to others and the women in his immediate periphery, as well as, of course, you know, to the Epstein victims that I guess like the heart of this story. And I suppose we can say, you know, we don't actually, you know, we did this which could be used as a document, but actually it never went to court. You know, we will never know.
Continue straight.
Epstein victims ever sort of, as it were, got their moment of and some of them allegations at Andrew as well.
Keep right.
And so there's always
Then
that sense
turn
of
right.
unfinished business, which I think, you know,
Turn right.
naturally makes you ask more questions.
A very royal scandal is right now.
Right now.
You have arrived.
Well, you have to watch it right now.
You can watch it at your convenience.
Thanks,
from,
James.
from here on, Emily
Amazon
Maitlis.
Prime, yeah.
Thank you very much. Into Amazon Prime. I think it's just called Prime.
It's embarrassing that you know that and I don't.
Well, you're the stars.
Right, I'm not going
It's on there. It's all the very good stuff. And it's brilliant. Check it out. Emily Maitlis, presenter of the news agency.
On your radio, on Global and
LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
Reuters newsroom. Israeli military officials say forces attacked Hezbollah's sites in southern Lebanon overnight, follows the deaths of at least 32 people in coordinated explosions of walkie-talkies and pages this week. Israel hasn't claimed responsibility, but says it's in a new phase of war. The business secretary, Jonathan Reynolds, has told the BBC arms restrictions on Israel are fair and proportionate. The UK suspended 30 of 350 arms export licenses earlier this month. Since humanitarian law has been violated by Israel's prime minister has accused the UK of undermining his country's right to self-defence. But Mr Reynolds has rejected Benjamin Netanyahu's plan.
What everyone needs in the Middle East is a ceasefire in that conflict. That is in Israel's interest. I think it's in everyone's interest to make sure we get there. But we will always comply with international law as a government. I think you'd expect that of the UK government. But I was cognizant of the risk in the north, in Lebanon, from Hezbollah, and made sure the restrictions we put in place reflected that situation.
Figures seen by LBC show hundreds of vulnerable children being held in unsuitable and illegal accommodation. Holiday lets and caravans are being used because of a national
Navigation
shortage of
resumed.
secure care placements. LBC's Charlotte Lynch has the details.
This happens because of a court order which is supposed to protect and support children. The families we've spoken to say it's doing the opposite, with the young people deteriorating and being isolated hundreds of miles away. The Children's Commissioner Anne Longfield says they're then put anywhere social workers can find them. Hotel bedrooms,
Turn
even
left.
caravans, boats, ability of any settler. It's just out the window. 100 children subjected to this in one year, with the hearings held by and it's rocketed.
Continue straight. Keep left.
The
Then
professional
turn
footballer
left.
James is due in court charged with importing cannabis.
Turn
The
left.
33-year-old striker, who currently plays for the Scottish side, Greenock Norton, was arrested by the NCA yesterday. Officers seized about 60 kilograms of cannabis at Stansted Airport earlier this month. In the last few minutes, the Bank of England has held interest rates at 5%. Economists had been expecting the base rate to be left unchanged after inflation remained at 2.2% in August. That is just above the central bank's target level. And Nigel Farage has Donald Trump's claim that it's eating jobs in Ohio. The Reform UK leader has told LBC he expects evidence of consumption to emerge within the next month or so. In this city, was up 57.83. The pound buys $1.32 and the euro 80. LBC will stay mostly trading this afternoon with some good sales.
roundabout, take the
Join
first
the
exit.
thousands of people choosing inconvenience. Search Avon & Co and order groceries.
Take the exit. Roundabout, take the second exit.
So you've got a better chance of getting through in the next 2 minutes than you have at any other 12 in 2024. But it will only last for a maximum of 2 minutes.
Take the exit.
This is a sort of exercise in sedation. Mediterranean.
Exactly, yes. So it would be good to know then for me what beaches can I go to.
To Britain, we must say. Have you had your Weetabix?
The veggie stack is back at McDonald's. 2 beef patties, crispy and grilled onions, and cheddar cheese. All topped with melted cheddar cheese sauce. What can we do? Now playing the Monopoly game with Philly cheese spreads.
Turn left. Turn left. There. Turn left.
Restaurants and subject to availability, 18 plus and may be required. See mcdrules.co.uk.
Turn left.
James O'Brien. Call 0345 6060973.
You have arrived.
You're listening to James O'Brien on LBC. Why do you and why do some beaches contain sea glass and ceramics burned into the ocean? That's the poem waiting to be written. Burnished by the ocean. You can make it metaphorical about how our rough edges are smooth by the swings and arrows of the ocean, by the tossing tides, by the ebb and flow
James, it's a question.
Carry on.
Basically, do animals, cats and dogs mainly, suffer from sort of shame or embarrassment? I was taking, I mean, the reason that I do that is, and I thought about it before, but I was taking my dog for a walk, and he just loves the tennis ball and stick.
Yeah.
He wants to do another dog, so he's not very social like that. He sort of just wants to be around people. And we were sort of walking through the park, and he just looked at me, because I got the ball, he's just waiting for me to throw the ball, you know, so he can just run after it. And he's looking real happy, and he just basically bonks his head. So he's a big sheeple. He bonks his head into a lamppost, and then he carries on looking at me.
Well, like a Dulux dog, big that kind of. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, he's got a sheepdog, and he carries on looking at me, but he looks a little bit embarrassed that he's done that. You know what I mean? And I just thought.
You did not look a bit embarrassed. Describe how he looked a bit embarrassed. For a start, with all that fur, how can you see his facial expression? The sadness, the embarrassment in his eyes. That's just.
Well, it's all a bit shame. It's actually a bit shame. And they can't make it. They slip. Curtains rip or something.
Who's going to know the answer? Who's going to know the answer?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. Maybe something like that. No,
You never know for sure, but I mean, like falling off, like a cat misses, like jumps and misses, and then sort of sinks around. I think we think they do, but that's probably anthropomorphism kicking in, isn't it? That we are kind of
projecting our embarrassment onto them.
Bingo. We attribute human reactions to our.
All right. Well,
I don't know.
I thought about that.
I don't know. Did the dog look sheepish?
Oh, he just looked lovely, and I just felt a bit sorry for him. And I just, don't do it again, Hamish.
Oh, mate, look out!
But he has done that before, actually. You know, do something, he'll bump into a bench or something. You know, he's just looking for the ball.
Are his eyes not covered by fur sometimes? Is that not?
No, they're not. No, well, no.
They probably are a bit. What's his name? Hamish.
Hamish.
Oh, lovely name. Oh, I've never even met Hamish. I love him already.
Yeah, maybe I'll send a photo in.
Yeah, do that. I'd be surprised. All right, can dogs look sheepish? 0345. No, of course they might. Of course they might.
University, veterinary university, or something.
Yeah, who knows? I love it. It's a great question. I think projection is probably playing a part here, but you never know. I mean, they'll be aware, will they? I don't know. We'll
Navigation
find out. Alan's in
resumed.
Liverpool. Alan, question or answer? Carry on, mate.
Time zones?
Yeah.
When did people realise there was different time zones? I know there's TNT and DMT and all that, but when did they actually realise that there's different time zones in the world?
Well, I mean...
Because if you're travelling, you're not going to just, as you're travelling along, you're not going to know, are you?
But you're going to notice day and night.
No, but what I mean is, like, you're going along on a horse, you're on foot, and you're not going to really notice it, are you?
No, but of course you are. You're going to notice whether it's getting dark or not.
Yeah, but what I mean is, you can't follow the sunset, can you, or the sundown?
No, but you can sail for 24 hours, and end in the night time rather than obviously you should be in the daytime, so that you know. So I mean, the answer will be sea travel, won't it? I mean, they won't have named the time zones until, well, that's where Greenwich Mean Time comes from, actually, is sea travel. So your answer is sea travel, once they started making long journeys by sea. It's a great question. I'm not going to take a round of applause for it, because, but you wouldn't be able to do it. So you need a combination of timekeeping and quite swift, long travel. I don't know, wow, I'm going out on a bit of a but you'll bear with me, you'll hold my hand. So you need to be able to keep time and also make quite long journeys quite quickly. So I don't think you could do it on foot, for example, because you wouldn't be able to cover the... So you need to be able to cover 24 hours and go from somewhere light to somewhere dark. So it should be light again, right?
Turn
day,
right.
you go for 24 hours, it
Turn
should be
right.
daylight again. Yeah?
Not really, no.
Alright, where are you now? The phone line's going to get funny. You are currently in Liverpool. If you stay
In 50 feet,
Turn right.
So, if you set up and 24 hours from now you're somewhere and it was the middle of the night, you'd know
You have arrived.
I think this is a really good answer, but I am prepared on this occasion to accept qualifications, clarifications, whatever it may be. Rob is in Chorley. Rob, question or answer?
James answered the Seagull's question.
Carry on.
It's as simple as the proximity of the location to industry that used to dump waste into the sea. So, I grew up in Sunderland in the northeast where there used to be a huge glass industry, beaches have got loads of that food, and then down the road, probably in the place called Sunderland, world famous for sea glass, people say that on sea glass, and it's as simple as used to be huge bottles, and they would just dump, waste into the sea, total sadness, it gets washed by the salt, then the road has become smooth. And once you on the beach, when I was little, there was tons and tons and tons and tons of quite large, significant lumps of glass on the beach. Now it's sort of a smaller bit, things are being taken away, no more of it obviously being produced naturally, the industry's gone, and that's why some beaches have more.
So you're not going to get any...
Navigation
There's not
resumed.
going to be any on a desert island or anything like that.
Well,
so
not
to
unless, somebody landed there and started a bottle works and now it's gone.
It's all right. On an uninhabited, always uninhabited, not one that had a bottle works on a private plane. And it's like to ceramics as well.
Yeah, and there's a certain amount of it that's being moved away, moved around by, by patterns of currents and stuff like that. So you get bigger deposits where there's natural current.
Turn right.
On beaches that are in the way of that current, and stuff will travel on those current lines and need to get washed up with it. But you'll find higher concentrations in area where, and it's the same as coal, you'll find lots more sea coal where there used to be slag sea and etc.
And the same as ceramics, where they've been
Signal lost. Navigation resumed.
Surprisingly enough, yeah, the question of whether dogs can feel harassment or not.
Can they look sheepish?
In 50 feet, turn right.
Sheepdogs can. Well, only most sheepdogs.
GPS signal lost. Navigation resumed.
The answer is
Make a U-turn. GPS signal lost. Navigation resumed.
shame, and they might feel perhaps a slight embarrassment, but a lot has to do with the fact that we tend to project our feelings and emotions into our dogs. It's called, anthropomorphism. So you humanize our dogs, and so the dog looks a bit, strange because he's just walked into a lamppost, and we think, oh, the poor thing, he's probably just hurt himself, and thinking, this hurts, chuck me the ball now.
And we're thinking, God, he looks embarrassed. Because we would.
Yes, exactly. It's a bit like when you come home and you're annoyed that your dog has done number 2 in the corner, but the dog's forgotten. He just picks up on your emotions and tries to pacify you for the fact that you've come home and are annoyed, but he doesn't know who's done number 2 in the corner.
So those faces, we see them on the internet quite a lot when a sofa has been savaged by a dog and the photograph, the face of the dog in the photograph looks sheepish. It looks apologetic. That's just an anatomical coincidence.
No, it's pacifying behavior. The human comes in and finds his sofa being destructed and is annoyed. And the dog picks up on that and thinks, oh, my God, what's wrong with you? I might as well pacify you. I'm sorry for whatever it is that makes you angry.
So maybe deploying the same behavioural palette that you'd deploy if you wanted to get fed or something. You're just trying to make the human like you more.
Yes, to a certain extent, yes. That's actually exactly what's going on.
Qualifications?
They're trying to, I work with dogs.
That'll do. And a round of applause for Vieri, for Dr. Dog. You can find out more about Dr. Dog on his website. 27 after 12 is the time. Lee is in Croydon. Lee, question or answer?
Question, please.
Carry on, Lee.
Vernal equinox. That's when the sun is directly above your head.
Yes.
Is there a vernal equinox for the moon? Because I've never seen the moon directly above my head.
You've never had a moon directly above your head?
Never. It's always at an angle in the distance.
You never shared a bunk bed with an older brother, then?
No.
That's pathetic. So you would. I mean, is it geographical? Would it depend on where we are in the world?
Oh, I've got absolutely no idea whatsoever.
Okay, I think it. Well, I think it probably would, but and that's what it's called, is it? A vernal equinox.
Oh, it is for the sun, but I don't know if I'm just applying the same principle to the moon.
Got it. Well, I mean, there must be somewhere in the world where the moon is directly above your head, no? So you'd sort of bend your head right back, and you'd look up, and it would just be... No, right. Oh, it must be. It must... I don't know. Actually, I'll stop talking. This is one of my many areas of well-established ignorance. But is it possible to have the moon directly above your head? That's the question.
Yes.
That we want.
Yes, please.
And how much attention have you paid on your travels, Lee? Most nights, are you just double-checking that you haven't accidentally ended up directly beneath a moon?
Well, I've done a stint of 53 years, and I've been out at night during that time, but I must confess I've never seen it above my head.
There we go. Let's see what we can do for Lee. Is it possible? Where do you need to be, maybe the question, but the first question is it possible for the moon to be directly above your head? As a normal human, just a normal man, an innocent man. It is coming up to 12:30. We've got time for another.
Navigation resumed.
Andy, question or answer?
It's a question, James. How are you?
Very well.
Okay. So, my question is about the eye and the auto iris that the eye has. So when you're outside in bright sun, your iris closes down to let a certain amount of light get to the retina and go into a dark room from outside. It'll open up, allow more light. So when you put sunglasses, why doesn't the iris open up to reach the dark to the point of your eye? Like if it was an auto iris camera, and you put something down, because if I take them off through sunglasses, half of the
turn right.
Light, and that doesn't change. The
In 50 feet, turn right.
I presume that if you put dark lenses over your eyes, then the iris will open.
Turn right.
But it doesn't, because it's darker than it is without.
Someone listening.
50 feet, turn left. Turn left.
Check with Keith. Are we clear on this? I've got dark glasses on there.
In 50 feet, turn right.
Alright, but it would do it.
Turn right. Turn left.
Dad, this is Tom.
Tom, nice to meet you.
Oh, and Tom, this is Barky McParkinson.
Great name. I thought maybe you'd have an odd human name, like Gary.
My name is Gary.
Meeting the new family can be a bumpy ride, but not with Mini. Meet the new Mini family. The new Mini Cooper with iconic go-kart feels and standout design. And the new Mini Countryman, our biggest Mini ever, ready for family adventure around every corner. Petrol-powered or electrified. They're waiting for you to take the wheel. Book your test drive today at Arnold Park Urban Mini. Test drive subject to stickers and availability.
Got head with an atom box. Painted it silver.
can't see a fucking thing. It was neat.
so look, here's the job of the washing machine. The DO's going in, and I'm going to use the word hole to describe aperture, sock, aperture, sock, aperture, sock, aperture, sock, aperture, sock. You've got all these fuses with a sock that runs through the aperture. At which point it gets entangled in the way that you did, and it becomes measurably harder for the sock to come back into the aperture. There's almost infinite variations of aperture sock relations going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how to get the duvet cover? Get the duvet in the duvet cover quite easily.
Well, what I
Navigation resumed. 250 feet. Turn left.
That's the score. I'm taking it around as a course for this, by the way, whether you like
Turn
it or not.
left.
No problem. I've enjoyed the show. I think the chance is
Turn left.
becoming a pilot than there is in being a train driver.
You have arrived.
Thank you, man. Take care.
Cheers, James.
Yeah, round of applause, absolutely. I'm going to give I was going to give it to Frank, but I've got a feeling that Frank isn't that interested in non-astronomical... how do you say that word? Astronomical mysteries. So I'm going to give it to Perry. What? Duvet, Steve or Perry? No, I'm going to give it to Perry. I sense Perry will value it more. The Mystery Ball Game goes to Perry. That's it from me for another day. If you missed any of today's show, you can listen back on Catch Up on Global Player, where you'll also find out all of LBC's shows to catch up on, as well as all of Global's live radio stations. So download Global Player for free from your app store or head to globalplayer.com. Coming up at 4 on LBC, it's Tom Swarbrick, but now it's Sheila Fogarty.
Thank you very much indeed, James. 3 today: nurses, police officers, teachers. Fewer young people want to be one or remain as one. Why are our key public professions proving so unappealing to the very people we need to join them? That's a 3. 2, no change to interest rates. They've come down, of course, since the trust fiasco. But how is the rate impact still trickling down into your housing costs, whether that's a mortgage or the impact of your landlord's rent going up? That's a 2. But I start with maternity care in this country again. Somehow the Ockenden report has barely moved the dial on this. Seems unbelievable, really. But what needs to change, and change quick, for mothers and babies to be safe?
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 1 o'clock, the number of people killed in coordinated explosions across Lebanon has risen to 37. Thousands of people were also injured when walkie-talkies and pagers owned by members of Hezbollah were detonated. Israel is being widely blamed for the attacks, but has refused to comment. Noga Tarnopolsky, a freelance journalist based in Jerusalem, has told LBC why that might be.
The assumption is that most of the people who got hit by this are Hezbollah members. But then you have an uncle who's in Hezbollah who wanted to show off to his niece that he had a new device, and that's how innocent people get hit.
Figures seen by LBC show hundreds of vulnerable children are being contained in holiday lets or caravans. It's because of a national shortage of secure care places for young people. LBC's Charlotte Lynch has been speaking to some of the families affected.
Tanya, whose name and voice we've changed, says her autistic son became suicidal after being sent 150 miles away from home.
I just saw this broken little boy who wanted to end his life, and I couldn't take him back there. I couldn't do it.
He was subjected to what's known as a deprivation of liberty order after being groomed by a county lines gang. Tanya was told it was for his own safety and to rehabilitate him, but he never got education or counselling. And he's not alone. More than 1,200 children were deprived of their liberty in 1 year. Half of them were sent to unregulated homes, like Tanya's son.
5 former employees at Harrods have accused its former owner, Mohammed Al-Fayed, of rape. The current owners of the store say they're utterly appalled by the allegations against the late billionaire. A man has been denied being in charge of 2 XL bully dogs which killed a woman in Essex. He'll go on trial next year following the attack on 68-year-old Esther Martin in Jaywick in February. And the Bank of England has held interest rates at 5% as expected. Economists had thought that the base rate would remain the same after inflation stayed at 2.2% in August. That's just above the central bank's target level. In the city, a short time ago, the FTSE 100 was trading up 93 points at 83.46. The pound buys $1.32 and €1.19. LBC weather largely dry with plenty of sunshine, a small chance of a shower in the south, a high of 25 degrees. From Global's newsroom for LBC, I'm Amelia Cox.
At NatWest, we think Britain's small businesses are a big deal. It's why we've helped more businesses get started in the last year than any other UK bank. Get 2 years free banking on everyday transactions when you open a NatWest startup account, plus free digital tools and expert advice. Ready to take your first step? Search NatWest Business. Tomorrow begins today with NatWest, proud partner of Team GB. To verify, email checkit@natwest.com. Eligibility criteria, terms and conditions apply. Other fees may apply.
This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Sheila Fogarty.
Hello there, good afternoon to you. Now, you and I have spoken many times, haven't we, about maternity care and the standard of it and your own experiences of it. We've talked about the Ockenden report, the Donna Ockenden report into various scandal-hit maternity NHS trusts. We've talked about the overall reasons that she found behind dangerous practice, poor practice, all of which is a threat to mothers and babies. We've talked about it often. And I want to do so again today because it doesn't look as though any of the talking, any of the reviews, any of the independent and esteemed reviews that have taken place of both individual trusts and investigations into individual trusts and the overall review from Donna Ockenden, it doesn't look like it's made a jot of difference. The Care Quality Commission has said maternity failings, that's the body that investigates the quality of our hospitals and other health delivery. They say that failings at the hospitals that were deemed to be problematic in the first place are not diminishing but becoming more widespread. Investigations into units in Shrewsbury and Telford, NHS Trust and East Kent, all of which involved babies dying or mothers dying, or both, found poor care may have contributed to babies dying or having life-changing injuries. But the Care Quality Commission said that these problems are now also being seen elsewhere. The CQC reviewed 131 units across the NHS.
Hi internet, that's me calling it a day or a night. I'll probably be back on later at some point, but yeah, that's all for now. If you tuned in, yeah, thanks very much, much appreciated. Just double check that I saved that. Anyway, till next time internet.